So, Eric Ten Hag's at the wheel. Can you tell me how do you feel? Ten Hag football is back, and the entire football world is buzzing. Some have a negative buzz, and the rest of us have a positive buzz. And we're going to be getting into the crinkum crackum of this matter today. We're also going to be highlighting Palmer's goal, making history by scoring 4 goals in the first half against Brighton. Meanwhile, in the other side of London, Arsenal scrape through Leicester with a 4-2 win. These and more things happening in the world of football is what we're discussing today. Please subscribe, like the video, because why not? And leave us your own thoughts about Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag football in the comment section below. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ROP, Run of Play podcast, where we discuss all things football, in particular the EPL. I'm your guy, Dr. Toves, and as usual, we've got the regular panel. We have Mr. Johnny Boy, a fellow Arsenal fan and a good advisor and consultant to Eric Ten Hag. How are you doing, my friend Johnny Boy, today?
I'm very fine, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here. Some people are not smiling, but I'm smiling.
Yeah, we're smiling. We're smiling, And we also have another strong, staunch, avid Manchester United fan, Mr. Judy Judah. How are you feeling today, Jude?
I'm feeling gloomy.
No,
It's
don't be
all
gloomy.
good. It's all good. Hopefully we'll start up tomorrow and wake up again.
After
Excited
Porto.
for the weekend.
Hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
maybe there will be a sack letter on Monday.
Fair enough. And we also have another avid and arrant Manchester United fan, Sir Dixon. How are you feeling today, Sir
I'm
Dixon?
feeling very well. Thank you guys for joining us again. Another episode of Run of Play. We appreciate your likes, your subscription, and your views and your feedbacks. They're all taken in good
Hmm.
faith. We appreciate once again. Keep watching.
Hallelujah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And as usual, we have our moderator and Ten Hag defender, the lover of Manchester United and the hater of Arsenal, Sir Sheon T. How are you feeling today, Sheon T?
I'm feeling well. I'm feeling good. Yeah, it was a very disappointing weekend. Slightly chasing, but we're here to talk.
Okay. Well, I'll hand over to you as always, and you take it away.
Yeah, it was a. If you're a United fan, this is probably the worst period ever I can remember in my living memory. Basically, to be a United fan. My 2 cents on the situation is that like this game against Tottenham was surprising. But I want to talk to the other two United fans on the show first of all. Um, Ten Hag hasn't been sacked yet. For me, my preference would be that if it was going to be sacked, I don't know what we're waiting for till Porto or till Aston Villa. So I mean, Jude, starting with you, like, why do you think they're still, what do you think they're waiting for? Why are we still in this misery? If you think Ten Hag should be sacked, as it seems like most United fans do, what do you think the Ineos people are waiting for? Why don't you just get it over with?
Uh, for me, I think right now finding the right manager who wants to work with Man U might be the question there. So they might be
Hmm.
taking time trying to test. Like they've been bringing out different managers, probably to see reaction of what the fans feel about the manager. Or maybe they just want to give him some time. Maybe from now, it's not the second time, right? This is like the first month. So let's give it to like maybe October. If he has a poor form of result this October, then he'll probably be sacked by the end of October or
Please sack him
November.
December 4th. Only December 4th. Okay, keep him until then.
No, end of season, please.
So they can't give him the end of season, except if he's doing like wonders. He win two,
Yeah.
draw one, lost one, that kind of stuff. That's when they'll be like hopeful. The fans will be hopeful. They can buy into it. But if he has a poor run of form, like straight up, they probably just gonna have him axed by November.
I was listening to Dixon. I was listening to, or I read like Benny McCarthy, the comments that he had to make about Ten Hag, and he said that Ten Hag is effectively like a tactical genius, basically, but he's lacking in the charisma, the ability to motivate basically his players to sell his ideas. First off, does that make any sense to you? Do you think that's the case? And like from your own perspective, like 'cause if you look at that game against Tottenham, as we're saying before, like where was Rashford running to? Where was Garnacho running to? What was Dalot doing on the left side? How much of responsibility do you think Ten Hag bears for like what we're seeing on the pitch? And like, do you think that the charisma or the character thing is as important a trait in the manager as it appears to be?
So yeah, I think what that statement attributed to Benny McCarthy, I think it makes a lot of sense. So because you look at the great coaches, so let's say Mourinho, for example, is the first name that came to my head. In as much as he's a tactical coach, you see his players want to die on the pitch for him. There's that Mourinho creates this siege mentality, like us against the world. Oh, the league is rigged against us, everybody's against us. So he gets into his players' head such that he tells them, guys, this is what we should do on the pitch, and they are in ready to do it. You also see someone like Pep, the way his players, after winning everything at the end of a season, the next season, he retains that hunger for some reason. They still buy into his vision. You don't see, you watch City and you don't see
Yeah,
complacency. Those guys are still hungry like the coach. So I think regardless of what is in your head in terms of tactics and knowledge, you that ability to pass the idea to your players to sell it. Look at Klopp, for example. One of his biggest strengths is man management. His players jump on him, they
mm,
celebrate, like they call him friend. They don't even see him like boss. So you must be able to, whatever approach, because there are different managerial styles, whatever style you decide to use, you must be able to pass your message to your players such that they buy your vision. Because at the end of the day, no matter how good your
yeah,
plan is, it's the guys who are going to enter the pitch that will execute it. So it's necessary as a coach that you are
yeah.
able to get your players to buy into what, which I think is something Ten Hag lacks. He he seems to me like someone who has ability to keep malice, who can hold grudges. Like
Mm,
it's some things he does, and
mm,
I'm like, no, 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 this is not this. You won't succeed like this, sir. This is not because
yeah.
you
No,
look at some
I mean, to be fair, right? To be fair, right? When Mourinho first came to Madrid and kicked Pepe out of the team and said Pepe has a problem. His problem is an 18-year-old
Varane,
guy called Varane, right? I think like all these managers usually when Pep came to City and he kicked out what's this
Joe
guy's
Hart,
name, Joe Hart, who was initially like all these guys tend to ruffle feathers, right? And there are some fans who believe that, right, or some people who think that these United players, especially, and some of the reporting is coming up from the dressing room and from the training ground that some players in their mind, Ten Hag has already been sacked. Some of them maybe they don't like his style, his training methods, and whatever, and whatever. Do you think? And after you answer this, Dixon, we'll go back to Jude and we can move on from United. But like, um, do you think do you think there's anything to the idea that like you know you have to allow a manager to get full control because you can't what we saw from Dalo again I don't understand how what else a manager can do honestly and I hear what you're saying that like Ten Hag has responsibility, right? But do you think there's any room for allowing him to shape the squad completely in his own
I think he
image,
has been given that right.
or that
I
should
think he has
passive?
been given that free
Yeah.
hand, if you ask me. Think about it.
Hmm.
How many
Hmm.
teams would so let's go back 3 years ago. What Ronaldo is or was to Manchester United. How many teams would allow such a legend to be treated the way Ten Hag treated him, and he got away with it? Ten Hag literally more or less shredded Ronaldo, what is left of Ronaldo's legacy in United. And the board backed him, they supported him. Enrique fought with Totti in Roma, he was gone. And Totti would never be a legend like as much as Ronaldo is in Man U. Regardless of he was a one-man club. Ronaldo won Ballon d'Or for us, he won Champions League, he won everything. I don't remember Totti winning these things. Okay, maybe he's a bigger legend in terms of relative to other people they've had. But my point is just Enrique had issues with Totti, and that was the beginning of the end for him. Ten Hag had
Mm,
issues with Ronaldo, and this is second season afterwards. So it tells you that he has been given that right. Like, guy, do as you like. You own this team, run it how you want it.
mm,
And he has the board has not interfered, nobody has interfered. He threw away Sancho that Man U bought for a lot of money, an English
mm,
guy that there are supposed to be some bias like the media and all those things. Everybody allowed him, guy, do what you want.
mm,
So now that he's behind the heat, I feel no sympathy for him whatsoever. Zero sympathy, like, because
mm,
I feel
mm,
he has done some things, and it's similar to Ateta. There are some things that Ateta did when he came to Arsenal newly that he hadn't earned the right, but for some reason the board trusted him. So you look at how Ateta treated Aubameyang. He had not earned that right, because I mean it's just like your first season and you're throwing away the club captain. But he did the same thing to Ozil
mm,
and they indulged him. So my point is,
We're busy.
if Ateta starts facing backlash like 3 years ago, he brought it upon himself because he took, what is it called? He alone took those decisions, and whether it comes out good or bad, because if it comes out good now, we'll say he's a genius. Oh, imagine if United was winning, imagine
yeah,
if we won the last season. Everybody would say it was Ronaldo's fault. But here we are, over 365 days
sure.
afterwards, and it's clear that the fault is certainly not
I don't
Ronaldo.
want to.
So I just
This
if you
Ronaldo conversation has the potential
like
to
you,
trigger
because
me,
you
so
cannot
I don't want to. I don't want to get too
it's
deep.
it's just part of the it's part of the timeline of Ten Hag's period in United. If a documentary is being done, there must be a Ronaldo chapter in it. So
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
dwelling on Ten
I
Hag's.
think bringing
No, no,
bringing
no, no. What
Ronaldo
I'm
back
just
to
saying is,
United was a
well,
big mistake
maybe
for Ole, for Ten Hag, for Ten Hag, for United in general. We should have called his bluff, let him go to City. We could not have done more to sabotage City's title chances than sending Ronaldo
He
there.
was never going to fit in that
But
team to
you
like.
know, yeah, I mean that's my perspective. I think Ronaldo will have destroyed that City team, and Pep will have been sacked by now if Ronaldo was there. But okay, Johnny Boy. I mean, from your perspective as an opposition fan, what do you think is Ten Hag's biggest like shortcoming? Like, do you buy this Benny McCarthy narrative of he's good with tactics but bad in man management, or do you think he's like a complete like washed failure generally? Mm.
I think with Ten Hag, it's probably a United problem. I think Obi Dixon said something that we're tired of Feggy. Like Feggy was United and he has retired like 10 years ago, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
it still seems to have a say in United.
big.
So I feel United there are so many voices in United. Right now you have a director of football, you have a CEO, you have and you guys brought in new guys again. And there are moving rumors right now that you guys brought in Rude to take over Ten Hag. They're already trying to spread that already now. That he's going to take so
Yeah.
that is not
Mm.
good for the dressing room. Some players might actually believe that. So they actually might downplay
Yes,
or down tools. They
yes,
will down tools now because they have a feeling that this manager is good.
No, no, but everything you're describing is a recipe for United to remain in darkness forever because you're describing a club that would effectively sabotage both in terms of like the media narrative. So are you saying that Ten Hag is not the problem, but that United is that the club United itself is the
Obviously, the
problem?
manager has to be a little bit on board. I would say Ten Hag is 70% the problem because at the end of the day, right? He picks the team, he picks the lineup, the starting level. I think
Mm-hmm.
before we came on here, we were discussing about Dalo and his shortcomings. I said I would have played Dalo. I wouldn't play Dalo if I'm not playing him as my right back. I will play Martinez as my left back, and then play Delete and maybe Maguire or even Lindelof because Lindelof came on, so I could play the two of them as my centre back, and then play Dalo or Mazraoui as my right back. It's not compulsory, but he's sticking to what's his name, Dalo as a left back, and Dalo as a left back. We've seen it time and time again. Is not working. So why are you still persisting with that? Why don't you change up things? To this minute, you are playing Ericsson, Bruno Fernandez, and this person. Maybe next week you are playing Ugarte, Casemiro. So all those, I know you're trying to search for your best team, but at the same time, I think by now you should know his
Yeah.
best
after
11.
3 years.
The players he can trust because whether you like it or not, he knows the players he can trust, he can rely on. So you should stick to that and you should forget about the backlash. The press is going to talk whether he likes it or not. And for what Benny McCarthy said, I don't buy it. I think he's no longer United, right?
Yeah, he's
bad
no
belly,
longer.
bad
Yeah.
belly, because he has probably was let go. So why did he say it when he was there?
Mm.
He didn't say it when he was United. Why is it after he left? So it's just a voice. Yeah, I see that
Um.
voice of
No,
a
that's.
hater.
I mean, I think I'm sympathetic to your initial point, right? And this is why, even though I think, in the heat of the moment, I'm like, sack the guy, let's get it over with. But I do think that, like, it's a little more complicated than just Ten Hag, for the reasons you described. But Dr. Toves, you can take the opportunity to ask me your question, or if, but the question I had for you is similar to Johnny Boy. What, from your perspective, you think is Ten Hag's biggest shortcoming? If it's the tactical thing, or if it's a man management, charisma thing, or all the above, he's just not a good coach.
Well, I think I answered that question last week. So I don't have answers this week. I only have questions.
Okay,
I only have questions.
sure,
And
sure.
these questions
All
are
right.
from the community because I asked them, please send me your questions so that I can ask all these Man United fans and
Which community
the
is this
community,
now?
the ROP
The,
community,
the
the Run of Play
ROP
Okay.
community.
community. Yeah.
And they sent me all these questions
Mm.
that they think that is pertinent to hear from Manchester United fans. And they said I should play one clip for you first from the last episode to you, Sheon. And you answer the question, then I'll go to Sir Jude
Okay,
as well
sure.
as Dixon. And this is after the Crystal Palace game in match week 6, match week 5.
Mm-hmm.
United are the biggest team in probably the world, so a lot of media attention. I think unfortunately for Ten Hag, every decision he makes is microanalyzed, especially if we don't win. So whereas the explanation is simply we're unlucky. Yeah, days like that. Dean Henderson was man of the match. We hit the bar twice. We're just unlucky. Me personally, I remain as confident as I was coming into the season, and I'll tell you why. Because from my perspective, the fundamentals have improved significantly. Whereas this time last season, with the same midfield, Ericsson, Mino, and Bruno against Crystal Palace
Oh
away, we
man.
considered like 20 shots or so throughout the game. And we took that same midfield and were able to dominate. As far as I'm concerned, there is an improvement across the board. So
No, you didn't. Right. So the community said I should ask you that do you still share that sentiment that you have improved since last season, and your midfield is much better than last season? Like, that's the first question that I should
So
ask you, sir.
first question, yes, I still share the sentiment, and I think that any manager who takes over from Ten Hag would benefit from the work that Ten Hag has put in already. I think I still stand by what I said that Manchester United are probably the most talked about club in the world. So whether it's Sky Sports, Talk Sports, everybody talks about United and talks about how should we still be talking about United so much and they're not winning. And any manager who comes is going to have the decision making micro-analyzed to a T. Every single decision you make, should this person have played, should this person have played. So I think there's something to be said for batting down the hatches, trusting the manager that you stuck with in the first place, and letting it play out
So
as it will play
do
out,
you
right?
do you,
But
do you trust the manager now?
do I trust in Hag? No, I don't trust him.
What,
No.
then they said I should ask what changed between last week and this week.
And this week, yeah, his decision making in that Tottenham game was atrocious, right? Because I think if we had given our preview, every United fan that you would have asked would have said Ahmad should play. Ahmad is our best attacker, right? Play him, right? Don't Garnacho doesn't play well against strong physical wing backs. Never, he doesn't do that. He's better coming off the bench. Why are you playing Garnacho? It's very possible that the game against Tottenham would have been the game that Bruno eventually played well. So after 25 games of playing nonsense, it's possible that that game would have been the game where he would have surprised us and turned it around. But it's more likely that we would have seen what we saw, which is Bruno would have continued to play shit. So I would have expected the manager to be brave enough to drop him. But like his decision making, honestly, is killing him. Right. And for this type of job, I think for him to be successful, he has to be allowed to go through some of this. But at the same time, it's a high profile job, and maybe the only way we can, because I don't want to be 6 years into a project celebrating second place like Arsenal, right? So we're looking for a manager who would be able to like deliver us both in terms of actual like success on the pitch in terms of performance, but also in terms of trophies, like the results, because it's a big club that we're at United.
Right.
How do you drop
The
your
thing is,
how do you drop your captain
they,
in your biggest game? How do you drop your captain?
Who's the captain?
I think by being brave enough to admit that my captain is not playing well. My captain is not playing well right now. I think that earns you respect among the fans, earns you respect in the dressing room when you can look at the team and say, "This our captain is playing rubbish. We're benching him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I don't like to say I told you so, but I would like to say that the other four of us on this panel have said on multiple occasions that Ten Hag is not good enough, but we are happy that you finally
Okay.
come into the camp.
So I
So
think
I'll
so
come back to you very
let's
much. You
still with
should go and
Jude.
rest. Sir Jude, do you think that Man United have a discipline problem? Because in the last game you had 5 yellow cards and a red. Do you think there's a discipline problem happening at Manchester United?
I won't just use one game to decide the discipline problem when it comes
Hmm.
to cards.
Hmm.
But if you talk about being on the
In
pitch and
general,
knowing what
yes.
to do and doing the right thing, then maybe we have a discipline problem in that aspect.
Oh,
That's what I would suggest. But not cards because the past few games we've not had like much cards like the game.
yeah,
I remember
because Lisandro Martinez tried to
we're,
literally
You should unfortunately
stomp
see
on a
unfortunately
player.
we're
red
playing
against
against
Palace.
a fast team, a better
Hmm.
attacking team. We're also one man down, right? So
Hmm.
people are all over the place trying to emotions are turned up. It's Old Trafford. So
Hmm.
it's just one game before we
Okay.
can say it's a discipline problem with regards to card.
Okay. And the community said I should ask you this question as well as Dixon. I'll start with you, Jude. Do you think that the players are playing for Eric Ten Hag?
Good question.
That's a good question.
I know. That's why this I should ask you.
First of all, we have to know we have to look on the perspective of
No, based on what you are watching, do you
what am I
think?
The
watching?
eye
I have
test.
to be sure that Eric Ten Hag has a tactics that they are playing to. That's the problem. We don't have a style of play.
No, what are they playing for him? Do you think the players are working hard for Ten
Everybody's
Hag? I
work
think the way
like
the guy
not
described.
all the players. I can tell you some people are not motivated to be playing on that team, but
Hmm.
everybody there like Garnacho is happy to play, but I don't think he's playing for the coach. He's playing like I'm playing for Man U and I want to play football. The elite is happy to play.
Mm,
Everybody is happy to
Yes.
play, but playing for the
Even
manager, we have
Anthony.
to be sure that the manager has a style of play that he's doing for them to be able to
Hmm.
key in, to
mm,
be able to say, okay, this person is not playing from this. But I don't know what tactics we are coming in with next game. So
Okay.
me, I just feel like for me, with regarding the Hag coaching this thing,
Hmm.
right now at Man U current situation, with putting tactics aside and man management, as a coach, you have to have all of them together to be a coach.
Hmm.
So you can have the tactics, but you're not delivering, or you're
Hmm.
not like he needs to be. For me, he needs to be ruthless. That's what he's lacking.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
getting to that point where he's becoming an Ole, where he's trying to pamper the players and shield them,
Mm,
and that gets you the sack,
Hmm.
irrespective. So you have to actually know how to shield. If you want to shield them, he's trying to shield them from media publicity, taking them.
No, no, but like when he tried to be ruthless, when he tried to be ruthless, right?
He's
As
behaving like
Dixon
a
did
baby.
now,
The question
when
is
when you try to be ruthless, they will bring it up against him, and they will not be so like Sancho, for example, Ronaldo, for example, right? When he tries to be because United is such a big club, right? The fan base is so fragmented and divided. So Jadon Sancho on his own has a huge contingency, like a huge fan base behind him. So does what's his name, Ronaldo, right? So does even Anthony at United. So does Rashford. So do all the players. So if Ten Hag basically it's heads he loses, tails he loses essentially.
before we
His
digress.
only option is to win.
Before we
Mhm.
digress too much, Sir Dixon, the community knows that you like to watch football with your eyes and you see and you say what you see. Do you think the players are playing for him, sir?
So before I answer it, I think it's important that we admit that whether or not the players, let's even remove our minds from football as a leader, if
Hmm.
the team is not working for you, the responsibility is on you as a leader. You need to get people on your
Mm,
side. Because look at, okay, let's even remove Ten Hag from this conversation. Look at any other top club in the world. Is there any other coach where you are in doubt the players are playing for the coach or not? So it tells you
Okay.
exactly that the fault
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
come on, you can't be,
Everton.
like I said earlier, there are a lot of things Ten Hag has done, and everybody has
Now they're
answered,
playing
okay, you are
for
the boss,
Shatters.
take the call, make the call. And so if the players are not playing for him, then is responsibility is on him to identify why is that so and who are those players.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Because Okay,
Yeah.
what comes to my head now is Gerrard. When he took over at Aston Villa, I know he didn't have a successful stint, but I just want to draw a narrative. When he took over at Aston Villa, he said he had a conversation with Tyrone Mings that he told him that I
Yeah.
will take the captaincy from you because I feel it's added responsibility for you, which is affecting your output.
Mm.
He said and Tyrone Mings had no issue with it. They had that conversation. That is how to get somebody to be on your side. But imagine
Mm.
what would Ten Hag do? I've taken it from you. You're angry. Go
But
to go and train with
but
the
then
under. Go and train with
I
the
can
No,
ask
no,
you
under.
but
this.
but you don't know that now.
No, but
No, but you don't
use
know that now,
precedence. No,
Dixon.
no,
Now.
come on. Use
You
see,
don't know that.
use precedence to
Use
like
Maguire.
come on. Use
He did
precedence
it to
to
Maguire exactly.
yeah, he did it. Use precedence to identify
Sancho.
what somebody will likely do in seminar. It's case study now. We are doing scenario analysis.
No, are we talking about this same manager who was so generous that he gave a professional footballer 2 months, 2 months time off, Sancho, just go and rest and play FIFA. You understand? Since the mental strain of football is too hard for you, take some time off, go and play. Is it that same manager that we're now talking about as if it's some kind of like taskmaster? I think it's
Ye-
clear that like, and let's not give
There's
this
Ten
one
person
Hag
all
thing.
this
is
credit.
better.
is the
We brought
There's
it
same
one
out.
thing
yeah,
we
yes sir. Is the same manager
does the
who
player need
is
it?
the same manager who you're talking about discipline and you're saying and you put Ronaldo and you throw Ronaldo under the bus for you want a team that is disciplined and you have a Sancho,
Mm.
Mhm.
a Rashford who can go partying at 1 a.m. in Scotland while there's a training in England in the morning. You will pat Rashford on the back and you will throw Ronaldo under the bus. Come on, as a manager, would you even like to have a boss like Ten Hag?
Mm.
I don't agree with your characterization of how
No,
things
but
played
he
out.
also
But I think
he
But
punished
Dr.
he
Plus
Yes,
can
punished
yes,
ask
yes,
Rashford in
yes,
the
ask
yes.
first
questions
match.
first.
There's so many questions. Speaking about Rashford, since we are down to Rashford, and the community knows this, I've asked Jude once about Rashford. Jude also talks about how the wingers don't track back and all of that stuff. So Dixon, the community wants to know that Rashford has been playing in the first team since he was 18 years old. He's 27 years old, almost 28 now. How come he still doesn't know how to cross the ball consistently? How come he still doesn't know how to hit the target consistently? I don't know what is going on there. In your
And
own
to add to that,
opinion and
do you think
perspective.
it's time for Man U to move on from him? Added question to that.
I think is so. Let me start with the second question, then we'll come back to the first. I think it's late
Mhm.
for us to move on from him. If we had sold him 3 years ago, we might have made 100 million off him. If we put Rashford in the market today, I doubt we can get 10 million. No, I take that back.
Yeah,
I doubt we
but
can
you
get
lost
30
him.
million. I doubt we can get 30
Mm.
million. If we had sold him 2, 3 years ago when he scored 20 goals once, there was a season he scored, I think 18 or 20 in the league.
Yeah,
We would have
it
Two
made
was
years
good
ago.
an
Two
money.
years
actual
ago.
2 years
season.
ago, we would have made good money. But today, I doubt he has 30 million valuation. And then why Rashford? We are not yet. Can I say we've only said something that I might want to agree with? Only said Rashford's off the pitch activity, those his philanthropy, humanitarian activities, were distracting his football. Because I remember there was an
His
interview
club.
where Ole said he had told Rashford that you need to focus on this. This football is the reason why you're able to do that. So that should not be
Mm.
taking precedence in your life over this. Because if you didn't have this football platform, you won't be able to do that. So but
Yeah.
now we've not heard anything of from him concerning those aspects. So I'm running out of excuse for Rashford. Why at this point in his career he hasn't hit that height we thought he would hit. And I don't know if I can say
Oh,
it's
fair
media
enough.
hype because even lately the hype has died. So it's really tough to say. Maybe we'll get
Mm.
maybe we can get an opposition fans
Clarification.
view or maybe um
No. The community still wants to do with
Shelty
Man
and Jude
United.
can help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Shoti.
They've had their excuse. We don't hear those ones. I'm sure the community would like to know that because you like to compare Ten Hag and Arsenal a lot. All the seasons and Arsenal, Ten Hag, Ateta. You like to do all
Mhm.
this comparison. You like emphasizing that in Arsenal's Ateta's first 2 seasons or 1.5 season, however you want to see it, he finished eighth twice. But the thing is, after he finished eighth the second time, he decided to change his backroom staff and they finished fifth the next season. They finished second the next season. And the important thing there is He changed the backroom staff. You can see him communicating with the backroom staff on the pitch. You can see Nicola Jova, during set pieces come
Yeah,
out, come and give instructions on the pitch. You can see Airport Albert giving instructions. Sometimes the game is not going well, see him in the huddle trying to talk, right? Eric Ten Hag has changed his backroom staff last season and the season before. How come he doesn't give them the chance to actually give instruction on the pitch? Last game against Tottenham, you can see that he was running out of ideas, but it was not talking to Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy was just head straight. Do you think that there is a clash there? Do you think he don't trust his assistant coach? Even Pep always talks to his assistant coach. There was even the semi-finals where we're piping them at Wembley. You could see him talking to an empty chair because he needed ideas. How come Ten Hag doesn't have that confidence from the outside looking in his backroom staff to give instruction to the players? Because you're the defender,
Yeah,
you might have some.
I don't know. I don't know what POV it is when you say from the outside looking in. I don't know what kind of,
From the
of
because
POV you're coming
you're
from.
not inside the club, isn't it? But from like you
I
watching
guess I'm
from
saying
like
I don't share that assessment of the situation. I don't agree that Ten Hag it looks like he doesn't trust his backroom staff. That I don't think that's the case. It looks to me like, based on everything we know, that Ten Hag and the Ineos people, Ruud van Nistelrooy was called by Ten Hag. So this whole rumor of like, I mean, which other club in the world would you have this kind of open speculation about the manager who's going to take over, all this kind of stuff, regardless of the results, right? Regardless of the results that is going on. There's no other club that goes to this kind of nonsense. So
no,
it comes with the territory,
but on the
right?
pitch, why is he not talking to him? Like they're not deliberating on the pitch. Every other coach in the EPL, even the
Yeah,
Southampton coaches, you can see the head coach and the assistant. Like sometimes
I don't agree.
working together.
I don't agree with.
Or have you ever? Okay,
I
so
don't
Sean,
believe
have you
that
ever
there
seen
is
him talking
I
to
one.
his
never think.
assistants?
I don't think. I think it's a Ten Hag.
You've seen
Yes,
him.
yes, we have. We've seen him talking to the assistant. We've seen it many different times. Like
I think
we see it all the time.
it'll probably be the first season when he was working with that old Manchester United guy.
You mean McLaren?
McLaren.
Even then,
Yeah,
McLaren, even then, like again, a lot of all this stuff is just out of whole cloth. This narrative that Dr. Do just spawned from nowhere,
It's not from
right?
nowhere.
Like
It is fact. Everyone could see it. So
which
he was
fact?
running
think
out
that's
See
of
what.
what? What are you
ideas.
talking
He
about?
was not talking.
I
He was
don't.
not talking
I
to
don't think
Which
that's what
talking?
Van
happened
Which
Nistelrooy.
in
You
the
could see
game.
people just looking at.
don't come to me with facts unless you can show me
I can show you. We
evidence.
show the evidence.
No, 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 no. Show
Like I
me, show
said,
me.
from the outside
Let me
looking,
describe.
from the
Let me
outside
describe the
looking in.
evidence that will persuade me.
Okay.
Your claim specifically was that
Yeah.
Ten Hag is not talking to
No,
his assistant
and you
managers.
don't, and you
It
don't,
doesn't seem like he trusts
and
them.
also you don't see them backing, like giving
To the
instructions on
players,
the pitch, on the
yes.
touchline, like to the players.
And I think that is a total load of horse shit,
I
right?
can
And
think
the
this,
only way
but yes, but
the
why
only way
not?
you can convince me otherwise is to show me all the managers in the Premier League, right? Show me every single manager in the Premier League and their assistant. Show me how often they talk to their manager. Show me the count, minutes spent, images for a manager, and then tell me why Ten Hag. Because tell me
And
why
what we
in
are
that
doing
game
right
against
now is
Tottenham,
reaching. We call that reaching. You're
But that
reaching.
you're the
doesn't.
one
That
who is
doesn't
reaching.
describe
You're
trust
reaching
now. That doesn't describe
because
the
No, but
they
like,
don't
but
they don't
how
they
are we
don't
supposed to know?
they don't say
How are we
everyone's
supposed
going
to know
but
in a
you're
game?
watching Manchester City. If you're watching Manchester City, you can see Pep on the touchline. You can see City
because
on the
that's
touchline.
that's who
You can see
Pep
them
is.
talking
He's
together
always
on the
talking
touchline.
But
normally.
we
If you're
can, but
watching
we can see the
Arsenal,
same
you're seeing the
thing.
same
We
thing.
can see the
If you
same
see
thing for
Enzo
United.
Maresca, you see the same thing. If you see Arne Slot, you see the same thing. Even like
In
the
fact,
assistant manager
Which kind
sometimes
of
go to the
it's
front
even
officials
worse
to go
if you
and you
watch
don't even see that at
Newcastle.
all with
If you watch
United.
Newcastle, Jason Tyndall
It's like a family
is
meeting.
like, in fact, is even more vocal than
what
what is his
kind of
name, Eddie
agenda
Howe.
is this
It's a
that
question.
we're pushing?
You're the Ten Hag
So we're
defender.
not wait,
Okay,
So
so
why
we're
okay.
not
So
how
my
saying
answer,
come
so
it's
my
a
answer to the
certain thing.
question is,
We're saying
I don't
it's
believe
things, it's
it's
perception.
an agenda. It doesn't seem that way. How are you even getting that from? Where? Like, where is
Off
that
the
even
top of
coming
my head,
from?
I'm
Who even
struggling
looks
to
at this kind of
remember
thing?
him talking
the
to his
rest of us,
assistant.
the rest of the world that are not supporting Ten Hag, we can see it.
Eh,
we can,
No,
No, but
like
we can see
he does talk to
it's
Van
not
Nistelrooey though. He talks to Van
it's not
Nistelrooy.
when
I
when
see him. Last weekend he was talking to Joyce.
you
When they were
always see him
losing,
on the touchline with pen and his paper.
Oh,
no, when
his
he went
hand
to sit
stuck
down,
in.
I
when
don't
he went to
understand
sit
what you're
down,
saying.
when he went to sit down, he
He will
was
sit
speaking
like
with
this.
Van Nistelrooy. Remember?
They talk all the time. They talk all the time. They look at
Of
their
course, they will
iPad
say,
or whatever
of course, they
together.
will talk and say,
They
oh,
look at they talk all
they
the
can
time.
say,
They look at their
that's
iPad
the
and stuff
rubbish pass.
together.
They can say, look at
I've seen the Vanish Roy.
okay, they can do that.
What game
Even
was
when
it when
I think
Rashford
there's a
scored
game Bola was
or
trying to
somebody
come.
scored that they ran to come and that the Rams come and hail Hoyland. That's why the Rams come and hail Nishroy because Nishroy was one like cheering them from the sidelines. I mean, I get I get you have your own agenda
On
you want
the
to push,
touchline. He's not
right?
doing it
But
on the touchline. But anyways, if he says agenda, let's chuck it to agenda, no problem.
how will we know? I mean, how can you
Fine
even
now.
make such a claim?
I say from the outside looking in. The community wanted to know. They asked the
Okay,
question.
from
The
the outside
answer is
looking
you
in,
don't know. Okay, that's
okay,
fine.
okay.
Let's move on to the next question that the community wants to know. The community want to know. I think Dixon and Jude has already touched on this. How come Eric Ten Hag does not know how to motivate his players? Right? We are in the modern era. A lot of these wingers are modern wingbacks. Garnacho is like 17 years old or 18 years old. Rashford is a young boy. Zirkzee is a young guy. How come those guys don't track back? Are they still like in the 50th, like in the 1930s, that forwards just stay forward, not coming back to defend? And is it that because Eric Ten Hag does not motivate them enough? Does he have to copy Arteta? Since you like to, compare too much, does he have to copy Arteta and start, trying to draw heart and shapes on the chalkboard and trying to give them motivational speech and helping them love each other to actually build that
You should not copy
Or
Arteta.
do
because
Oh.
some
there's no
6 years with no
discipline
trophy.
there.
Sorry,
Ah,
that's an FA Cup.
oh.
Sorry.
Whether not talking
Is either
of you
is either 1.5? Is that
on,
1.5 or 2 years? Right.
On
So pick
Saturday,
one.
on
Mm.
Saturday, we both know which person is going to have more confidence in their team. But that's beside the point. Do you think he should
Okay.
he should be able to motivate his team some more to do the basics right? Because it might be good tactically, but if the players are not playing for each other, then what's the point of the tactics? You can ask Mourinho and Conte; they have all the tactics in the world. If the players are not running for you, they're not running for you, innit? So, do you think you should take a page from Ateta since you like to compare? That's the question, sir.
Are you asking me?
Yes, yes, it's you. It's for you, sir.
Oh, obviously there are things that he can learn from other
Like
managers
Ateta.
in the club.
Yes.
Like Ateta,
Yeah.
yes. There are things that he can learn from other managers in the Premier League. I would just hope
your
that
record.
in after 6 years, he's not boasting about one FA Cup and best.
He's not
I
going to
mean,
do.
what we call
He
them
already has. He
best
already
Compare,
has.
best
He
in
already
feeling
compare.
has
good.
two trophies, isn't it?
Second best. What's the second best? Is it best in feeling confident?
No,
What was it that the
In
football
the
club
league.
said?
your coach,
Second,
Oh,
your
second
your
position
coach
in the
said
league.
is the second
best
best.
in giving
Your
best in
your
giving
coach,
Man
One
City a
I
point
tough
know
time.
your
difference.
coach that said is the second best
Best in
coach
one
in
point
the league.
difference.
You want to sack him
Okay.
after 1 week, and you are here saying
Yeah.
in 6 years' time. Well, we are confident. Anyways, Dixon, do you think that he should take a page from other managers and motivate his players more to track back and things like
Oh
that?
yes, I think so. I think so. I think so. And then I think he even needs to be humble. I listened to some of his press
Yeah.
conferences. It seems like probably the press are getting to him now, which is normal because English press can be like that. I remember judging Klopp too. Towards the latter end of his stay in Liverpool, was not exactly friends with the media because when they
Yeah.
got down from the race and all competitions, they were just asking him very difficult questions. So, but I think sometimes they ask him questions that people want to know, and then he just replies in a very annoying way. Like, in fact,
Mm.
I saw Daily Mail's after the match, this Tottenham game. He said because of spending problem. Like, I think a point comes in a
Hmm.
manager's life where you need to own up and say, okay, guys, you know what? The blame is on me. I listened to Enrique's
Hmm.
post-match conference yesterday after Arsenal beat PSG, and he accepted responsibility for the loss. He said they didn't create enough chances. He takes the blame. The team should have done better, but of course, they will do better next game. He accepts
But then
responsibility.
don't you think he takes the blame behind closed doors?
What you need
He took the blame. He took the blame
against
this weekend.
us?
Now he took the blame
He
against
said,
FC20.
should
Yes,
I
he
share my
did.
screen? He said spending problem is the issue. I thought I posted it in the
No,
group.
no, Dixon. No, no,
Ah,
no,
it was Daily Mail's
no, no.
headline.
He
No,
no,
in the
no.
post, yeah, in the post, I didn't even see him say, "Oh, like we didn't really play well." He said we played
He said
well.
we didn't
We
spend
didn't
and
take
we
our
didn't
Oh,
tactics.
reinforce.
oh my
Let me share my
gosh.
screen so you see it. I posted it in
Well,
the group that
no, I mean, it's not.
What I know is that he said he made mention of the fact that the team is a young team, that they should give them time. That's the one I know of. That
Please, who is the young team? Who is
Man
the
you know
young
that
person in?
that they went to buy young players, so
Ganacha and Ahmed with Zegzi.
he
They
needs
are
to give
young.
them. Even Hoyland, even Hoyland to an extent is young.
Speaking of money
Even
spent,
Ugarte.
Jude, do you think that Lenny Yoro is going
one
to be,
second so
when
that
he
you see
comes, is
what
going
I'm
to change
saying,
the
please.
Who?
United like savior complex. When Euro comes, maybe
Did you see
the start
Did you see
change.
Ugarte? Ugarte was just walking. He was
But
like,
Euro is not
"Leave
even
me,
going to
get
play.
that
That's
bitch."
the issue.
So I don't think
So he must play 70 million. He's not going to play.
who
Over who?
Ah. Over the
he's
loan.
going
Who
to
else
play
is he
now. He's
going to play
probably
No,
going
with?
no.
to play. Then this guy will go to left.
That's the only option. Except that.
He has more pace and he's more composed. This Martinez was just all over the place, and
The butcher, and
they
I was
beat
trying to
him to it.
butcher people, but unfortunately, it didn't work.
He was butchered.
It was butchered.
I just feel like he needs to, at this point,
I mean, I'm reading Ten Hag's post match press
he should
That's
conference,
what
actually
I'm
right?
play.
saying.
He
And
should actually
I want
play
to
Um,
see
80
where I
percent
want to show
of
you
the
the place
players,
I'm.
no,
Can you see my screen?
not just what the
no,
players
I'm
tell
saying
him
no.
they want
It's
to
one
do.
thing to
What is
highlight
his
this, but he gave a full press conference now, and he said many
So
things
you
in
know they
that press
have
conference,
multiple
right?
press conferences. So
Exactly.
because
Right.
in fact
So
that was
so
Daily
you
Mail's
want to pick
headline.
on you want to pick the
So
one
that's
thing
my
that he
point. That
said.
you need to even be
You
humble.
want to pick the
Raise
one
up your
thing that
hand
he
and say,
said.
guys, you know what? It's on
But
me.
he
But this see, okay,
no,
if he
but
had
okay,
said it's on
but
him,
when he
do
says
you think
but
Daily
when he
Mail will have
says
this as their front page? Ten Hag is out of excuses.
of course, because they are a tabloid, because they are a tabloid paper, and they are trying to sell copies, and the way to do it is to be sensationalist. That is not even a stenography of his comment. That is an
No, no, no,
article
no,
written by
no.
someone.
I
That's an
because
opinion.
I was
That's
highlighting
somebody's
it quickly, you
opinion.
would have seen where he mentioned it that we need more reinforcement. And I was like, dude, you spent 600 and something million. How can you be saying we need more reinforcement?
You need more. You
It's,
To
need
uh,
more.
catch
it's
up,
just
now to
stubborn.
catch up, to catch up, to catch up.
Yes. Yeah.
Something will be working and we
How
just
much
gotta
has
change it.
You
and
need
the
to spend
slots?
a billion
How
like
much has
Chelsea.
and the slots spent?
Yeah, but like Shehu said, like
And
I
Slot
think
has a
Ancelotti
good team
met
now.
a good structure.
He got a good team from, but I feel like if Ten Hag had gone there,
Yeah.
Ten Hag met the team that
Um.
had finished second like 2 seasons.
they did
Ten
not
Hag met a
reinforce.
team
They did
that
not
needed
reinforce. That's what he's
open heart
complaining of.
surgery. But I don't want them to say that we're spending 40 minutes on Man U, because, and again, if anybody says that, let's blame it on Costul, because
Yeah, I just asked questions for the
he's the one
community.
that brought out a white
The
paper.
community, the community could
He had
I think they've had
a whole white paper research or questions to ask. But we can move on to Brighton, recap of the last games, this weekend's games. Brighton versus Chelsea. Wala for who doesn't have Kopama
FPL.
in their
no,
FPL,
no, yeah.
basically, because he's turning up, and Chelsea seems to be going from strength to strength. I think the Brighton bubble eventually burst. So I mean, started with you, Johnny Boy. Why do you think? Do you think the Brighton manager should change, like, or he should keep playing this high line, because it's that high line that casted them, basically? So do you think he should adapt to the Premier League, or they should keep doing what they're
To
doing?
me, if you notice, Brighton has been playing Highline for the last 3 years. Even under the Zerbi, they were always playing Highline. So it's not. I
Mm,
don't think it's a manager thing. I think probably it's from the top. Who I think this guy was first one that started. This guy that
Potter.
went to Chelsea, Graham Potter. But I think it
yeah.
worked for him, so he decided to stick with it. And I think any manager that comes in, it seems that's his philosophy, so he sticks to
Yeah,
that.
even the owner Tony Bloom said that this guy Fabian Hosela he adapts. He has the mentality of Brighton
Exactly.
more than
So so
Zerbi. That
I
he plays the style they want to play.
so I think it's not just the coaches; it's the way they play. So what they have to do, unfortunately for them, they don't have a what's Van der Veen that is fast. So if you have a defender that is fast, you said they have a 38-year-old defender. So unfortunately, it's going to work against them. And also, you have to be smart when playing high line.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, Louis
And
Dunk is
he's
kind
old.
of
I
old.
understand what you're saying.
Um,
But when you're playing, the thing about playing
mm,
highlight is that you have to be smart, meaning that everybody has to be in sync. There cannot be any lapse of concentration because once there's one, it's going to kill the whole team. So everybody has to be in
Exactly.
sync.
yeah.
So the
Like
problem, the
someone who's
issue,
running through the entire pitch,
yeah,
from like from the other
not
half
not
into
exactly,
it.
not like you know the point now. So
Hmm.
so the problem is
Hmm.
not the highline. The problem is the defenders doing their job. So that's it.
Yeah.
And he's a new manager. I still give him
And
time.
The youngest
He's a
manager.
new manager.
and yeah, the youngest manager in the league, and Dr. Toves. I watched the Chelsea Brighton game, right? And I mean, I'm still not entirely convinced by Chelsea. Maybe, and you guys are accusing me of predicting with my heart.
Hmm.
Maybe it's my heart that's this thing, but that game still seemed to me like a relatively open game. Chelsea were clinical essentially, and it took advantage of their chances.
But then,
Are
but then
you
I can
even more
see
convinced by Chelsea
Marika's
now?
style of play already though. Like literally.
Well, I was already convinced from Maresca's style of play since match
Sure.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us we watch football with our eyes. We don't defend Ten Hag.
Mm-hmm.
If you trust Ten Hag too much, you don't see other managers play some fantastic football. But since we know
Mm-hmm.
that Ten Hag is rubbish compared to the other football, we could see
And it comes from a
that
Mm-hmm.
Pep team.
Maresca was playing a very good football, a good style. Yes, it might seem tough. Anyone that plays Brighton will have a tough game,
True.
but you can see that he has the tactical nouns, and the players are playing for him, running, defending, and creating chances. So. Um, Obviously there will be a point where all this initial ginger is going to
Lie
fade
down.
off.
Yeah, lie down.
But until then, I'll say he's doing it at Chelsea, and I think he's going to be in the top seven
I
now.
think they're already fourth,
Um,
if I'm not wrong, or fifth.
yeah, but table don't count at this
No,
point
but
in
like
time.
every week we have to look at where you are on the table though. Some teams we can't see them
Mm.
in top 10. You have to
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to,
No,
you have to
you're
see that.
right because last week someone was telling us that Arsenal was fourth. This week I don't know if they've checked the table anymore. But yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm willing to consider it's possible that maybe it's my bias that is believing this that is not accepting this Maresca hype. But I remember Antonio Conte when he first came to Tottenham and how Tottenham were going to win the league, and at the end of the season he was sacked.
That's very
I
harsh.
remember the beginning of
Who brought up the
the
Tottenham
beginning
to win
of
the league?
of Ole's. No, I mean the way Antonio Conte started now, right? It was going to be, this thing. I remember when Ole's first came, Ole at the wheel. First 17 games, and the car crashed. Their Premier League is full of managers with initial gragra, right? And then towards the end of the season or middle of the season or next season, they couldn't keep up with it. So maybe that's just my hatred.
No, you're
Basically.
saying fact, but if you want to compare Maresca to the previous two Chelsea managers, is playing better style of play. Like he's choosing the players that are going to play his style. They're not just
Right.
experimenting in different weeks. He already knows, okay, this is how I'm going to play. These are the players that are going to do it for me.
And
etc.
I think he has
So
had a better
Yeah.
start than
But still
Pochettino
this
and
man you
Potter as well.
indirectly.
No, I think the thing that has impressed me the most about Maresca is that man management, is the decision making part, being able to, like, okay, I don't want you, I want you,
hmm,
you're not playing well,
It's a
get off
lot.
get off the pitch, come in,
It's a
that,
I
that
lot.
kind
think
of
the other
thing.
the stuff
Yeah.
also boils down to having subs, right? Having people that can compete for those positions. That's why he's able to say,
Mm,
"You, I don't want you. You, I don't want you." If you tell Rashford now, "You, I don't want you," the next person there is
Oh,
Garnacho.
Anthony.
If Garnacho is playing rubbish, you will have to call Rashford back.
yeah,
You have to.
that's
yeah.
why Ten Hag is asking
So
for more players so that he
Exactly.
can be like Chelsea.
he
Yeah.
sold Sancho. He's asking for more. It's not
Yeah, but
serious.
the Sancho bubble had gone now, bro.
Yeah, I
That's
feel he
why.
should convert Dalo to a winger. Let's be managing that and put somebody else in that left back.
Um.
Lenny Euro
Malaysia
is
is
coming.
coming back now. Malaysia is coming back
hmm.
ahead.
You guys have players.
And
Luke
then
Shaw is coming.
and
Was
then
coming back
Best left back
16
in
years
the league.
ago.
and then City weren't able to, get past Newcastle. I think, Tonali is back.
And no
Newcastle's midfield
Rodri,
seems
so
stronger. No Rodri, and everything. I mean, Dixie, how do you see that game? Is this the end for beginning of the end for City? Like, if they don't have Rodri this season, should we just expect that somebody else
it
would
will
win the
be
league?
very interesting to see. However, it's also very difficult to say because if we go by stats, which
Mm,
they've lost more games. I think last season, every time they drop points, or I think every time they lost,
Rodri didn't
they
play.
didn't play.
Yes.
So I do not expect that will continue forever. There will come a point where they need to, everyone needs to put in extra shift, and sooner or later they will find a rhythm
mm,
around what is available because when what is desired is not available, they say what is available becomes desired. So they need to they need
desired.
to make do what is available because whether or not we like it, they have a large squad. So and Rodri,
Yeah.
thankfully they have Gundogan back. I know he's 36 or 35 already. They have um, they have Kovacic, they
Kovacic.
have Gundogan.
Mm-hmm.
Nunes can play CM. So
Having even the small boy Rico Lewis, they brought him
yeah,
in now.
so I
Kept
mean
us.
they have options because if City ends up having a bad season on the back of no Rodri, then it will just be like another Southgate who said, I didn't have Calvin Phillips in the middle of the Euros. You remember? He said it that
Mm,
he's missing Calvin Phillips. So
yeah.
I don't buy the idea of, oh, I'm missing one player. because in my head, it already tells me if I was in a player in that team, you're already telling me one player is more important than the rest of us, or you don't trust us like
But
you
not
trust
like
this guy. So
Not really though. But
now.
see, I think with Rodri, the reason
You
why
see
Rodri is
his
so important is that
importance. He has
Rodri
a
is like
great
the link
impact.
between
It's
and
like
so my
defense and the
point
the
is,
attack.
okay, so imagine if Saudi Arabia comes for Rodri and they offer him 800,000 a week and he goes, would the Man
he
City
will,
Find,
he
they
Empire?
will
will
find another
probably not
person
go
now.
for it, but
Exactly.
if
They'll
So
he
my
find
goes,
point
another
is,
person.
they will have
it
to
needs to come
adjust to it.
with something. You can't. The team is too.
But
See,
he would have bought another player now.
and so that's my point. That
If
the
they
team
buy
is
him, he'll
too.
buy another player
City is too
that
big a
for
structure
that excuse.
for
Yeah.
such an excuse. And remember last season, even with Rodri, they played 3-3 at St James Park. St James Park is a
No, they won 3-2. Last minute, I said it. That's why I went for a draw. They won last minute Oscar Bob.
okay.
Remember?
So okay, so
Last
they
week of the
made
game.
they won 3-2. So my point is, St James
Yeah.
Park is a tough ground to go to for anybody.
Yes,
So
very
now they
tough.
are going there without Rodri, it becomes harder. So
Except for Man U.
no, St. James Park is hard for everybody. It's hard for
It's
everybody.
an easy ride on the opposite end.
Okay,
So it's a
okay.
tough. So I mean, they need to get someone or make the words available.
I just think he will probably change the style. That's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
The style of play.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should expect, City and Pep to adapt and be able to survive. But it will be interesting to see how this
It's
season
tough
plays out.
against a good team.
Arsenal. Yeah, Dr. Toes, Arsenal, Leicester. It's initially looked like Arsenal were going to walk away with it. Then halfway
Leicester.
through the game, it was like, what's going on here?
Hmm.
Then towards the end of the game, Arsenal managed to score 4-2. And I would note that none of the United fans here brought up the terrible refereeing decision that happened against Tottenham,
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Fernandez's red card, because I think we all, I guess, we can admit that it would not really change the outcome of the game.
Hmm.
But Arsenal, Leicester, I know you already did your own daft review,
Hmm.
but give us your own thoughts generally. Mm.
Well, it was a nerve-wracking game of football, but
Hmm.
obviously they are always talking about Arsenal mentality, and we, show the mentality in the 94th minute. If you want to waste time
Sure.
against Arsenal, we are going to capitalize, right? We don't have Odegaard, we don't have Ben White, we don't we don't complain too much. You just do the business, handle business. If you give us the opportunity, we're going to smoke you because we can play different styles of
Mm.
football. If you want long the ball football, we've got it. If you want
Mm.
counter-attacking football, we've got it. If you want press Wenger style of football, we've got it. Anything you want, we've got it. If you want
Cross,
pragmatic haram ball, we've got it. So
cross and
any
run.
style, we have the answer for it. Yes, it was tasking. I think the players felt that okay, we've done our job, and then they were snoozing, and that's why they scored and got into the game. The second goal was a free goal. No one is stopping that second goal. The first one was also a free goal, a mad deflection. Otherwise, Raya could have saved it. But
Mm.
all in all, I'm proud of the boys. We showed our mentality, and we are level on points. Manchester City as at match week 6. So what more can we say? What more can we ask for? Keep doing what you're doing at a time,
Yeah,
boys.
congrats.
Congratulations on the title
It's just week
Yeah,
six.
nah,
Calm down,
congrats,
guys.
no.
Calm down.
Title of runner-up.
No, no,
of matching points with City.
yeah, congrats.
We have to go toe to
Um,
toe.
You can't give your
no,
contenders
that's
too much gap. That's why I was against Arsenal losing against City.
Hmm.
Mm.
nah, yeah,
Someone at the start of the season predicted that Man United is going to win the league. So
That
if you're not going
hard
toe to
talking.
toe
It's
with
hard.
City,
Don't
I don't
mind
know
him.
how
We
you're
knew.
going to win. But anyways, that's for another day.
yeah, and then, yeah, like I said now during Shea Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was top of the league till December, so not in
That's why
2020
you're
2021
mentioned.
season till December, almost January, we're top of the league. Where did we end that year? 18 points behind. 18 points behind City, so it's not by toe to toe. But congrats again. Sorry, congrats on
Yeah.
your
Thank you,
We
on
thank
your
you,
take it. We
thank you,
take
thank
it
you
achievements.
very
serious.
much. Thank you,
Um,
thank you,
um,
thank you.
yeah, I guess we can move into previews now. Oh, but okay, last word quickly on the sack watch. I'm updating sack watch to now include Sean Dyke. So far it's Sean
Others are
Dyke
not there
and
now.
Lopetegi. No, Everton won, managed to
They
Doesn't
win two
won
matter.
that. They won
one.
their game.
Doesn't matter. I still
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
them to go down. To be honest,
They're not
If
going
they
to
go
go
down,
down.
they get sacked now. If it looks like they're going down
Yeah,
by
they may
Christmas,
sack
they're
him
going to
before
sack
they
him
go down.
straight up.
I don't think they've been
Yeah.
relegated
Yeah, I mean
before, so
Everton is a
it's something they want to continue
yeah, Everton is a
forever.
Premier League fixture. If they go down, yeah, it will be this thing. Just and then Lopetegui, I saw a report that he was fighting with Kudus in the dressing room against Brentford because I think maybe Kudus is not playing the way that he wants to play, or Kudus is not. And Kudus is supposed to be a star player, and I saw it in the Athletic. And apparently, like the West Ham hierarchy was calling Kudus to calm him down. That like everybody's still on the same page and everything. But so a quick round robin player Lopetegui versus Kudus. Who do you guys think comes out the winner of this fight?
Kudus.
If there's a fight,
Kudus.
Kudus.
I
Because he's
mean,
already fan favorite.
Okay.
Is one of the highest paid,
Yeah.
highest signing. Like the hierarchy will want their project to work, right? Because Paqueta, they know they might lose Paqueta, but they've got Kudus on a longer contract, so they can. West Ham always changes coach
Yeah.
every time, so it's not going
eight,
to
eight,
be
eight out of ten
it's
times,
not be
right?
different.
The,
Yeah,
the manager
so
always gets the boot. 8 out of 10. So it's going to go the similar
Kudus
pattern,
is winning.
and the results are not helping him too.
Mm-mm.
Like
And I mean,
And if you
United
want to
guys
play,
were
if
in
you
a
want to play
similar.
expansive football, you need Kudus. Somerville is not doing, it's not going to do half of what Kudus is
Mm.
doing. So, there we go.
No, but in this kind of thing now, right? Dixon and Jude, so starting with you, Jude, right? In this kind of situation where a manager has an idea that he wants to play, but your star player, maybe because he's a star or whatever, doesn't think, maybe he doesn't want to work as hard as everybody else, or he has his own idea, and based on star, he thinks he should get his way. Who should prevail in this
the
type of
manager should
situation?
prevail now. Come on,
Between
the manager
Normally,
the
the
manager should
manager should
prevail.
prevail, but
But
the
then you should pray
Who
to
circumstances
should?
God.
surrounding
You should pray to God that he
Yeah.
wins though, because if he doesn't win,
circumstances surrounding him.
But the thing is, I don't know. I
that's
don't know if
that's what
that's
makes
a
it
skill though,
important.
because
So should winning matter, or should the
okay now.
principle be the
So
most
The
important
fan
thing?
base and
principles number
the
one.
board will assess him based on the winning and the style. Winning is more
but it can
important
affect
than
the style of play because Kudus tracks back, Kudus defends, Kudus is not a proud person. So, what
yeah.
style of play is he talking? Is he saying he should hug the touchline, or something like that? But Kudus
Mm.
is already doing those things. He likes to come inside, but I don't know, whatever. It's
Principle
West
push
Ham.
number one. But then it depends on what is the goal of the owners of the club. What is West Ham trying to achieve? Are they trying to
Mhm.
finish mid-table? Are
Not
they
to go
trying
back
to
to
go
Europe.
into Europe?
Not to go
Are
back
they
to
trying to win a
Europe.
trophy? So it depends on that. So that is how you're going to gauge it. So
They
if
just want to beat Arsenal.
so if ah if United is talking, okay.
Which they might. They took 4 points off us last season, so
No,
it's not
sorry, three
impossible.
points. Sorry, 3 points, please. We beat them 6-1, 5-0 in their house. Remember?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
Okay.
that's why you wasted all
Yeah.
the
So
goals you
let's. I
needed
mean,
in the new year.
I think we can move on to like a preview of the coming week. There isn't really any game that we need to spend too much
Aston
Sorry,
time
Villa
on
match.
because
we,
Arsenal
Aston Villa match.
Southampton.
sorry, there was an
Yeah,
issue
yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
discuss last week, that I think we should talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we can talk
then
about.
okay, wait, where's the line after the preview? What next? What comes next?
No, just
No, no.
do
I think
do it now.
speaking of issues that we can
Okay, let's discuss
discuss.
something.
Maybe let's just do
Let me
yeah.
let me
Let's
ask a
just
question.
do 5 minutes
I want to
on.
ask a question. So, if you guys have to get rid of Ten Hag now, based on all the rumors we've been hearing about managers coming in, who will be your ideal candidate and why? This is
Sean Dyche.
everybody, and reasons why.
I quit. I'll buy my jersey.
So me,
Oh man.
I want to keep the manager because I still feel, like he said, the team is young. They're trying to go young,
What are you
right?
feeling? Please
Allow me
carry
to
Wait,
your
land.
wait. You want to keep
I'll
Ten
carry your
Hag?
feelings to
and I'll
Emirates.
tell you why. That's my first choice, right? I'll keep him for the simple fact
Mm.
is that, like, he has won 2 trophies. Okay, that aside, United is trying to go young now. So you can see they're trying to go young. So those youngsters need a little bit of time to gel. So by the time Ugarte plays maybe like 5, 6 games, he blends into the team. Ahmad is on in. Holland is coming back from injury right now, so that he needs to also get into the team. Euro needs to get into the team. So
Mm.
right now, I think Ten Hag doesn't even know his confirmed starting 11. So I'm going to give you a lot of time. Let the injured guys come back,
Mm.
and then he gets his team. But then if United decides to sack him, I would See where they go for this guy. What's his name? Inzaghi. I don't know why people don't rate him, but I rate him.
He's a local
His
champion.
replacement is already on the bench. His replacement is already on the bench.
Nah, nah.
This Torre is going to.
Like I said, it depends on what the owners are trying to do. If the owners are trying to win, I wouldn't give Van Nistelrooy. No offense, because guess what's going to
Nistelrooy
happen
did,
now?
Why would you
had
give Alistair in the
Because
first
let
place?
me tell you why those things
Well,
are
he played well
dangerous.
at PSB.
The
Like they
people,
had attacking football, exciting football,
Where?
the
expansive
issue, the issue,
football.
You mean like how Ten Hag had at
the
Ajax?
issue, the issue with
Something
giving
like
Van
that.
Nistelrooy the post is that it becomes a
But
sentimental.
Ten Hag said that United cannot play what Ajax was playing, so that's why he's trying to bring all the Ajax players into United. So
No, you don't want to
Hmm.
shoot.
I'll go with
Yeah, I
Inzaghi.
mean, Johnny Boy, I think you raised a very, 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 very important point because I think Pep and Klopp have sports football, are sports like Premier League fans. Those guys are to me geniuses, unicorns.
But I also look at
Right?
Arteta
Because they
as
were
well.
able
That's why I'm
to.
even basing it on. Like I think,
you know,
I'm not looking at Teta.
uh,
I'm not looking at Teta because, like I said, I don't want to be
no, no,
six
no.
years into
Forget
a
about.
project
We're not talking about. We're
celebrating
talking about in terms of
celebrating
being like
best in
being in
second
love with
place.
your team, like getting that confidence that say, okay, you're going to this game. You're confident. You're 90% sure that okay, barring any nonsense, you're going to win this game. That's what I'm talking about. Is that not why United fans are crying? Because you guys have
Yeah,
the
no,
trophy.
I understand.
You
I
have the
understand.
trophy,
I understand
but
what
you
you're
don't still have.
saying, right? I understand what you're saying, but like I think the tension is between giving the manager time, right, and meeting the demands of the job. So the demands of the manager job means trophies now.
Which
It
is what
means trophies today. It
he
means
won, he
charisma
has,
today. It
he has
means
won
having like
trophies
a
in the last 2 seasons. He
he
can
has
still
been here
win again.
2 years and he has won 2 out of 3. So I mean, come on.
Mm.
I don't.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. The demands of the job means that he has to deliver.
Exactly.
Like right now.
He will deliver
And
The
Europa
demands
League.
of the job right now to me feels like he has to be among the title challengers, and he's not looking.
yeah.
I think that's
He's
a
not
step too
looking
far.
that way.
If you ask me,
Sorry,
that's a step too far for him. I'll go with
but you
Champions
already
League.
started, right? Arsenal already started. Man City has
I'll,
already started.
no,
Even
no, I'm not
Villa
even
is
talking
already.
about it. Beginning of season, I would have been my target for him would have been get us back into the Champions League.
For who? For Arteta.
No, no, for Ten Hag. So we'll be getting Champions League
But why are
and
you giving
and a
Ten Hag
trophy.
getting you into Champions League? You are giving Anslot. Anslot is already there. You need to wake up from day one and start
And
winning.
Slot is
If
not.
you can't win,
I'm very sure and Slot is not. His aim is not to win. Like the target was not for him.
his
If he
aim
wins the
won't
league,
be,
fine. But I'm very
or
sure the
he's
target for
playing the
him for
gameplay.
Liverpool
The
coach is not to
gameplay
win
now
the
is
league.
under pressure to build on it. Ten Hag has been there since how many seasons?
Yes.
We've been struggling to enter top
Hmm.
four.
You made it in his first season. Now come on.
And afterwards,
He made it with a
That's my
team
that's
that
my
was
point. So
already
that's my point. So now his job now is to take you back into Europe, Champions League, and win a trophy, a major
I
trophy.
don't
So
think
it
he
could
should
be
have that target. I think he should have the target of
either be
being
Europa League.
no, he should have a target of consistency in winning in gameplay for us to be able to be title
But
challengers.
that's
If
that's
we are title challengers, we're
that's
most
part of
likely
it
going to
now.
drop in
That's part
top
of it.
four.
If
We're
you
going to
finish
drop in top
fourth,
four. But if he has the mentality of top four, we'll be around the
no, no, no,
sixth
that's not the
and
mental. I'm not
ninth.
talking about
And
mentality.
then we'll start relying on Man City to Aston Villa to draw, Newcastle to
I'm not
lose.
talking
All
about
those
mentality.
calculations
I'm
at the
talking
end of the
about
game.
in terms of like what would I
Well, you
consider
got
a
the
successful
players. What
season
did you buy the players for? Did you buy players to come and fight for top four or to like?
to win the
Why are
league
you not
now.
buying the players? We already had players that will take us.
No, but Jude, Ten Hag's at least in the interview that he gave with Sky Sports, right, and it makes sense. In your side, Lenny
That's
Euro,
what I was
18
saying.
years old. Hoyland on 20
Your
in his
squad is trying to go
20s.
young.
Ugarte
He was trying to go young.
23.
But
Look
he's
at
the
Mino
one still making the
19.
mistake, not the signing. The only signing that I don't buy into is Zexi. I don't buy into
No, I
Zexi.
mean, yeah. So you're right that he's making some mistakes in terms of like his
His
decision
decision
making,
making on the
right? His
pitch
decision
and
making.
him
Yeah,
and the players playing for him.
yeah.
He needs, for me, you already have Leonero is out now. You have to work with what you have. Playing Dalo
Mm.
week in, week out as a left back, that's our weakest point. If you want to score Man U, just go to Dalo's wing. One dribble, Dalo is off. Sometimes he doesn't even
Also, the
come back because
question
he
is
has to go forward.
who should replace him? You guys are going back into
For me,
will you
analysis.
if you want to, it's all about playing Martinez there. See against City,
no,
you
no, no.
saw
So
Martinez there.
will you keep him? Are you gonna keep do you still have faith? Do you believe you should keep Ten Hag or you're of the opinion that okay his time is up?
If he's this
Change
stubborn, If he's still stubborn and playing Rashford week out, my sanity is better than him being in that house. He
So
should
you will
go.
get rid of him and replace him
I'll
with
get
who?
rid of him now if he continues this way. How
And
can I
replace him
do
with who?
one win, one loss, one draw every month? One win, one loss, one draw. Is that what I want?
But he lost 14 times last season. So if he loses 13 times this time, at least that's progress.
If he loses 10, he should be gone. He has already lost how many now?
Two.
I'm
If
just
10, he should be
joking.
gone.
Bro.
I think
That's
I've lost 2,
stressful now.
right? No, three.
Uh,
Three. Brighton, Liverpool.
But I think we know
wait,
that everybody will want to
see,
sack Ten
let me
Hag,
ask
apart
you a
from the two
question,
of us.
Sheon.
We want to keep Ten Hag. We
Sheon, do
want
you
to.
believe with this current
I
team that
don't
they
think
are
I don't
playing
think
that
Sheon
they're going
wants to
to
sack
beat
him yet.
anybody in the top six?
I think Sheon was just emotional. That's why he was calling for his head. But I don't deep down. I think he's.
Look, I think no. See, I think if you're going to sack Ten Hag, they should have sacked him on Monday. I don't understand what we're doing. I
I
don't
think they're
understand why
trying to
we're
But
prove
that'll
a
be.
point.
why
Don't you think
we're
that'll be reactionary though? That's reactionary.
If they sack him immediately, to just be like, oh, he has excuses. He didn't play Hodgland. Hodgland is the necessary.
no. That's what I'm
That thing
saying.
is
Like
just started his first game. And we collect
no, but
no,
that's what I'm saying.
we
But I'm
So
saying
obviously had a red card, so they can't dodge him
that's
on
my
that.
that's
He had a
my
red card,
that's
so they
my
might
point
dismiss him
because
entirely,
that
and
right?
has nothing
So
to do with
you
it.
either that's the
no,
point
we
that
had
Johnny
a red
Boy,
card.
and
They
I
can't
think
sack
I
him.
accept
You have to
to an
boot him.
extent. You either buy the context that Ten Hag is putting forward. You either buy it or you don't, right? You either agree with him that he needs
He
time,
needs he
or
needs
you
time.
don't.
That's fine. But the problem is the players he's playing with won't deliver over time.
And I think
I
it's
told you, I
No,
told you,
but only
I
time.
told you our problem is not defense. Our defense is solid.
no, it's not.
Our
Sorry,
problem
I'm
is
sorry.
attacking. And because we are not attacking, the pressure is now on us to defend.
Yeah, no, that part is there.
Rashford
But
had a
but I'm saying
chance
when.
against Tottenham. He could not net that goal.
Do you guys know that we are
But even
Holland
before
had
that
and
hands
now.
down
Zexi
on
had too.
United?
As in,
Yeah, no, we have
So
and it's
no,
Johnny
no.
Boy that is first of all it's Dr. Toves
But
and
none of
Johnny
you answered
Boy
my question. You
that
could have
caused
just
us to
gone
spend
straight
so
to the
much
point.
time.
None of you answered my question. So will you
That
keep him
you were
or will
telling
you
us to select
or will
a
you change him?
manager.
And who would you replace him with?
we'll ask them next. We'll ask them next week. This thing, you have some questions that we
Okay, no,
want
no,
us
no.
to
So
delve in.
two things I wanted us to touch on quickly. One of them we were supposed to discuss last week. The Ballon d'Or that has already been announced almost 1 month. So do you think
Hmm.
is there still need for us to be looking forward to Ballon d'Or on a yearly basis again? And
I mean, people still
a
look
month
forward to
to
it, whether
the award, everybody they've
Yes, now.
congratulated the winner.
I
And
think I think
But I think that
Yes,
you
now.
still want to. There's still some appeal. You still
they
want to
still
see
appeal
like the
exactly.
team of
And
the
I guarantee
season
you, and I guarantee it's not everybody that
and
knows.
all of those kind of things.
if the press has reported it, but at least
Um,
in Spain, the entire
no, but I
Spain knows
mean,
already.
I think
What
we
do
all
you say?
knew that there are many years that we all knew Messi was going to win it. Like
And
when
so
they
we
won the
own
World Cup,
it's different.
that
So
one
we
I
all
knowing
don't
knew
is
that.
say.
based on
I
oh this
think
guy had the best of year. So like okay, but we're talking of where it looks like a close call. There's a strong argument for Bellingham.
Now,
Is
but
There's a
it?
no,
strong
no,
argument
but
for
for
Rodri. There's a strong argument for Bellingham. There
no.
are yes. Come on, Rodri
I
was a huge
felt Vinicius
favorite.
was far ahead.
Yes, that can be your
Forget that he
reference.
didn't play well
I
with
don't even.
Brazil.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in any of them, but there was strong argument for Rodri, strong argument for Bellingham, strong argument for Vini. So it looked like okay,
No, so but no, but Dixon, without a doubt, I think my opinion is that without a doubt, there's always been
I agree.
politics
But my
involved
point is
in this
for them
award.
to have
Always.
already congratulated Vini in Madrid,
Vinicius.
such that the press even got to know. I mean, it looks like it looks like a script we are going. They are
I
going
don't
to
think I
act.
don't think I don't think it takes anything
Yeah,
out
I'm not
of.
saying
I'm
it
still looking
did.
forward to
yeah,
it. Personally,
I think
yeah.
some part the award is not that hyped like it used to be before to me though. But
because
that's me.
Ronaldo and Messi spoiled it. That's why.
It's
Before
not
it,
just Ronaldo and Messi. I think some years Messi did
it
not
became boring. That's
like
why.
did not deserve it or did not
What I'm saying.
do
That's what I'm saying. Because we
what is
knew it was either
required
Ronaldo or
like the
Messi.
people previous to him did to get it. But then they now change the criterion on what and this things now why I don't buy into the awards is that it's just the same thing as Grammy. It's just based on some people's.
PR
It's not you and
is
I
No, but
yeah, it's
that
by PR.
no, but I don't think there's any award in this
Nobody.
world where the person is finding out that he won the award there
Yes.
and then.
no.
But there are what no,
I don't think
but
But
there's
my
any
point
award in
is
this
clearly
world
that's
that
what
happens
he's
like
trying
that.
to
no,
say.
no, no,
He
no,
should
no. Jude, my
clearly
What
point
hap-
is
what happens is
my
that they don't
point
leak
is
it. What happens
yes,
is that they
but this
don't leak
one leaked
the
so much
the
such that
winners. Okay. I think there's some politics going on specifically
I
in
agree.
Madrid, where between Ancelotti, the Madrid
Rest.
hierarchy, they are trying to they are trying to protect Vinicius. They're trying to really there's something going on there with
Yep.
Vinicius, and so I can see why they would have been like, okay, this is our star boy. Let's anything he wants. Let's try and pamper him. Let's try and find a way to yeah. I wouldn't read too much into this particular situation. I thought
Then
the
the
point
second
you
one is
the voice that
the
you said was interesting though. Yeah.
Cisse, Ali Cisse of Senegal. He has been in the job for 9 years. I think he took on that job in 2015. He has won AFCON. He has taken them to I think two World Cups. And
Mm-hmm.
conveniently today he was sacked. And what was
Hmm.
reported is the reason for his sack was the Senegalese FA gave three reasons. So they said one, he didn't get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, he didn't win the AFCON, and lastly, they felt that the national team was declining such that the Senegalese people might no longer have that connection with the team. So I want to hear people's thoughts. I have my opinion about that news, and I don't know, maybe people don't find it as interesting, but I find it a lot interesting because you're sacking somebody for
Yeah.
World Cup performance 2 years ago. You're sacking him for AFCON that is
Hmm.
9 months ago.
What's your own theory of the
So I think
case?
there's something going on that has nothing to do with football. So they're just using
Okay.
football as smoke screen. Because otherwise, if you want to sack somebody for a poor AFCON, you sack him in January when the competition happened. You don't sack him in October.
Hmm.
October, you waited 9 months.
Hmm.
You realize, this guy didn't do enough.
When is the next World Cup?
2 years
Two
now.
years time,
26,
2026.
2026.
2026, I think. Yeah, 2026.
Yeah.
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 I mean, so if a country is trying to move in a new direction, now would be the time to sack
No,
to
it
sack
should
the
have been
manager.
after
But
the
they're
You
not,
know,
AFCON.
but they're
if
not
they wanted
It
doing
should have been after
to.
the AFCON
but they're not
because
doing
that
that.
is when the World Cup qualifiers will be starting. Just after AFCON. He has even played some
But they
qualifiers
probably
already.
might
So
they probably might also be giving him chance to see if there's progress in the direction,
But
right?
they're not doing bad in their
Yeah.
qualification. What are you talking about?
exactly. So that's my point.
Right.
So
Let me
So that's another
on what
thing.
basis are they
I
really
let
just
me
eh?
play. Let me
I
play
just feel it's
devil's
African
advocate and
politics. Somebody's
let
trying.
me play devil's advocate and try to make sense of it. Right? It's not devil's advocate. Play their side. I'm trying to look into their side. It could be that they are right. It could be that because he did not he did not win AFCON and he did not
Go to
go
quarterfinal.
past the quarterfinal. He did not win the World Cup.
No, they didn't
It
expect him
could
to win World
be
Cup. Quarterfinals
that
of World Cup.
yeah, yeah, but it could be that maybe he's asking for more money ahead of the World Cup, and they're like, "What kind of money are you asking for? You did not win any of these things, my friend. Get out of here. You're sacked." So that's me trying to look at that angle. That's their reason for saying, "We're not giving you any money. You're asking too much. You're greedy. Get away." But yeah, I also agree with you that it just looks fishy that it's now they're doing
In
it. Like
October.
if you want to sack someone after the World Cup, do it then. Nigeria will sack
I
people
mean,
straight away as you
Exactly.
are
He
losing the
won't even come
competition.
back
You're packing your
home.
bags and you're
There's no
going.
need
Yeah,
bothering.
even Ghana as
I
well.
mean,
So,
sometimes I think we read that Tuchel when he got sacked
Emori or
by this new Chelsea
Todd
regime.
Bowley.
No,
Bowley.
what's his name? Todd Bowley. That it was they had a meeting or something, and maybe Bowley just didn't like what Tuchel was saying. Maybe Tuchel said he was like there's a way you can insult, or maybe you fall out with your ownership or
No,
something,
it's
or with the
because
hierarchy, and
the
they'll be like,
direction
you
they
know
were
what,
trying to go, Tuchel
fuck you,
didn't
fuck
buy
you.
into it. That's
Yeah.
just they didn't go the same direction. That's why.
It could be any reason. It could be anything like that. That
Hmm.
this our coach is on too much, or maybe he said something
Hmm.
that they did not like or something. So I mean, yeah,
Maybe he was
I
feeling too
wouldn't really
proud.
put too
Like,
much.
I'm the one that brought AFCON after how many years. I took you guys to the quarterfinal. No one has done it before.
I think
They're
that
like,
was even
look at
their
you.
first
After how
Mm,
AFCON.
many?
I think
Yes, I
that
think
is their
so.
first
Yeah.
AFCON. So yeah,
Yeah, I think
Is
so.
it their
I
first
think
ever?
so.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
So they
after it's the
probably
second,
think
I'm not
like,
sure.
look, we have so many national heroes too that can coach us. I beg, I beg, I beg. We'll make money
Maybe
player
maybe
coach.
they should give it
Take
to
yourself and
Aladi
get
Diop.
away.
Aladi Diop would be a good character for them.
No, the DF is not
He's a
doing anything.
controversial
I can tell
character.
you that.
You have to remember.
That one will
There's a
just
lot
make
of
them
Just
say
drama
for
now.
the
that.
That's why I
sake
watch
of
drama follows him.
All right. But yeah, that's it. So, should we do some predictions as quickly as possible?
yeah. So,
Right, to start with the game of the weekend now, Aston Villa, Manchester United. We'll start with the Manchester United fans. We'll start with Sean.
Please go with
Show
it.
us
Go with
your
it.
prediction.
um, uh,
It's the biggest game of the
um, uh,
weekend now.
you know
Villa
this
at
the
home.
game against Tottenham. I would have given it Tottenham. I would have said it's Spurs because we do normally debate Tottenham
Mm.
at home, and we saw this rubbish. So yeah, I think I cannot predict a United loss. So I would just say that we will win 2-1.
2-1 United.
Where's the venue?
Dixon.
Villa Park.
Ah,
Villa Park.
It's away. It's away.
Villa
As well.
2-0. I can't even think about it. I told a friend this night, Bayern Munich will not win this match. Villa Park is a tough place to go. That's why I feel
They played Gabby.
Arsenal did a lot to
Bye
bring
Yeah.
them to win
garbage.
2-0. They tried.
Hmm. Yeah, and they're underrating us. Jude, your prediction.
Aston Villa 2-1.
Wow, no
That's
faith.
Villa Park.
That's a fair.
I will support
That's a
Villa
fair.
over anybody at Villa Park.
I've been trying to look at who scored the goal for Man U, but it's not showing.
Oiler is
Especially with this win
Oiler
over
is
Bayern now, their morale will be at.
They keep mentioning who will score the goal every
to me.
week.
That's the reason why they
I'm
probably
bringing him
lose.
at 70 something
Eh?
minutes.
Yeah.
The fact
They
is,
keep
that's
mentioning
the
Ahmad.
reason why they lose because they'll be still basking in that euphoria of
Oh,
win.
that's true. That's the sound down.
Hmm.
And they will lack concentration.
So what's your prediction then, Johnny Boy?
2-1 Villa still.
You went to
No,
this
no,
head.
no, why? Yeah, exactly.
Nah.
Thank you.
No, I'm going 2-2 Villa. I'm going 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw.
Doesn't want
My
Villa to
reason
win.
and my reason for saying that is they've just played tonight. They have a short turnaround between now
Actually,
and
mine is worse. Mine has a
And-
shorter
Is the
one.
match on a
and
Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
it's
Because
on
United is
Sunday,
playing
yes.
tomorrow. So it has
Oh,
to be
that's
Sunday.
true. United.
But just looking at precedents, Villa does not really do well after a game in Europe.
They don't have a large
they might
squad.
they might
It's the
score
same players
two
that will
first.
start. Watkins will still
Yeah,
start.
they might score two,
Leon
and then they will
Bailey, the
snooze,
same
and then
players will start.
Garnacho, good
They don't
favorite,
have a large
will
squad.
score, and maybe Casemiro might score a header or something like that. So 2-2 draw. I'm going for.
Casemiro that they are planning to bench.
I know it's not Ugarte. Crystal Palace, Liverpool.
Where venue? Where is the venue?
That one
Crystal
at
Palace.
Palace.
Sellers Park.
Uh,
Croydon. And slots.
3-1.
People are already beginning to find him out. So yeah, go ahead, Jude.
I think three. I'm leaning towards Liverpool win, but I'm trying to see if it's a 2-1 or 3-1.
Choose one.
3-1. Let's go with 3.
Okay.
That's their favorite scoreline.
All right. I'm going to go for. I'll go for a 1-0 Crystal Palace. 1-0
Upset.
Crystal Palace. Because
Palace
Palace
won them last
is not
season.
upset.
No,
Exactly. They
Liverpool
are
won
they are
them
good
last
at
season.
home.
The
No,
one
Palace
that
won
Man U
them.
did.
Palace won them last season. Mateta.
In Anfield now, but not as
Oh, okay.
Liverpool.
True.
Yeah, I think that they are beginning to gel now. Crystal Palace are beginning to
The one
gel.
that Man
They
U
know
did.
how to play negative football. And Slot, the last weekend was not convincing. Like his team are not convincing. People are beginning to talk about how he's now different from Klopp. The initial media hype died last weekend. So I'm giving a 1-0 Palace win. Last minute win as well. Sean, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace eventually they have to at least get a point. I think they are probably the worst performing team so far this season. The only point
They're not the
was
worst.
against us maybe.
Southampton
They've lost.
begins to differ.
worse.
Sorry,
Southampton is 1 draw, all losses.
Southampton
So
begs
yeah,
to
I
differ.
think it's similar. Yeah.
Closely
Yeah, no,
followed by
and Crystal
Ipswich.
Palace
They're also very
is
terrible.
Oh, okay. Crystal Palace is 3 draws, 3 losses. So I think eventually, right, they will have to get a win.
Hmm.
But I don't know if it's going to be against this Liverpool side because I think their form might just be able to carry them through. But I think I'll follow the toes on this one. 1-0 Crystal Palace.
Right. Yeah.
Nah,
Let's
I
come to
go
the
with
winning side.
Liverpool. Hard fought win 2-1. Tough game, but 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
I will
And
go
Dixon.
with the scores that has been most prevalent in Arne Slot's regime. 2-0. He has a couple of
Okay.
2-0 under his belt.
Liverpool. And then Arsenal, Southampton.
I mean,
At Emirates. Is it at Emirates?
At the end.
does it matter?
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
It matters. If it's at Emirates, I feel Southampton will
matters.
score. Arsenal will still win, but I feel Southampton.
Oh,
Arsenal
okay,
doesn't
okay.
keep clean sheet at home, really. So I will
Okay,
go
okay.
Arsenal
I'll go
4-1.
with that.
Wow. 4-1 Arsenal. Johnny Boy. I
3-0,
want to copy your
3-0
prediction.
Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. No, I don't think we will score that many goals. Um, I'll say 2-0. 2-0
Southampton are
Arsenal.
dreadful,
2-0 Arsenal.
man.
Southampton don't have a well,
They are dreadful,
a,
man.
like a recognized striker. So 2-0 and we'll just chill and swap people around. Cameron Archer is not going to do
I
anything
watched them against Bournemouth. I was
fantastic.
crying.
Kyle Walker Peters, yeah, I
He's
don't
a,
think he's there for a long time, but he's fading small, small. Jude, 4-0.
I want to give you
Okay.
5.
Yeah, Arsenal is not yet turning up with goals. One of the guys
Now,
is bad. Start giving
I
them
feel
goals.
like it's going to be the same thing. You bring in players and then they score the same. So the first half will be like 2-3, and then you bring in guys that will score the remaining because they are
No,
looking
Sterling.
for playing time. That's what I think will happen. It's the same thing I predicted against Leicester.
All this are pass, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right. I beg. Michelle, your prediction.
Yeah, nothing for Southampton. No, at least 3-0 for Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. Right, that takes us to Manchester City Fulham at the Etihad. May 4-0 Manchester
without
City, that
Rodri.
one. Yes,
But
no, no.
didn't they,
Fulham
didn't
are
they
rubbish
beat
away
somebody
from
5-0?
But you
And
know,
they have
you
many
can't
people.
look down Fulham. Oh. Fulham is like a pendulum. You are not sure
Fulham
where they
has
will
been
swing.
consistent
Look
though.
at their
They're
results.
good.
Fulham beat Nottingham that has been taking points from people. Fulham,
Yeah,
they've had some
Haaland
good
hat trick, this
results.
one.
You are just not sure the Fulham that will
They
turn up.
have.
That's the problem.
True. But
Yeah, no, this one I'm sure at the Etihad. No, no, no. No, I know the Fulham are
City
strong.
3-1. City 3-1.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who is the captain? Messi
Iwobi.
and who is that other guy? Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking
Yo,
about the
yo,
Okay,
defenders.
yo.
okay, okay, okay.
It's like yo,
Yup.
Yeah, no, 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 no. That please, 4-0.
yo.
Sorry, Dixon, you
No,
said 2-1, Jenny boy.
3-1 City.
3-1 City.
Because City it seems they cannot keep a clean sheet this season.
in
I
fact,
noticed that.
I can't remember them keeping clean sheet. They are struggling.
They are struggling. Yes, Chelsea is the only team that hasn't scored them since. If I'm right.
And the team they played yesterday, that
Now those ones don't count now.
You
That's
should score them.
eh? If we score them now, if we score them now,
if
if
you
we
score
score them
them in
first,
like less than 2 minutes, quick goal.
yes,
Brentford
Yes,
score them in
they were
22
leading.
seconds. Everybody is
yes,
giving them one goal at least.
I feel like the game will be an upset. But
yes, but
Yes, I'm
Let's see.
suspecting an offset. I am.
yes, but
Okay, say it now. Say
say
go with your chest.
2-2.
Say with your
oh, my
chest.
chest not good.
2-2.
It's a point game. So I have to
In
play
2-2.
wise.
I'm predicting
I think it's
2-2.
a 2-1. 2-1.
to who now?
2-1
Give
City.
Fulham a bit.
2-1, I'll probably give City.
That's not upset then.
That's
That
not
was the
bad.
Eh?
offset.
No, my upset is 1-0, but that's behind my ticket, my gambling ticket. Take that one. Not the point one here.
And then she'll
City versus Fulham.
yes.
City is going to win now. 2-1.
2-1 City. And then we'll stay with you, Sheol, for Everton Newcastle. Everton at home.
Ah,
Uh,
remember Isaac is
1-1
injured.
draw.
Think of
We've
it.
seen injured.
Yeah, he had a broken toe.
Yes, he is.
1-1 draw.
And that's his problem. So we
I think he may do surgery.
No problem. And then Dixon.
Everton. I go with Sean 1-1. Like a score draw.
1-1. I'm going with a 3-2 Newcastle. Because Everton scores goal. That's not their
He's
problem. They
conceding.
score, but they just can't, yeah, they can't defend. So I'm saying 3-2 Newcastle. Jacob Murphy and them. Jenny Boy.
this game looks like a draw. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
Same here.
looks like a draw. Because this one you say there's no
There's no
Isaac. That's
Isaac.
the problem.
He wasn't on the bench in their Carabao. They
Because
played there.
They still have Abby Barnes. They still have Abby
yeah, they
Barnes.
probably
They
They
play
have
still have.
Gordon.
Gordon. Like in this City, they play Gordon
Gordon.
as a 9 now. Like he did against City.
Mhm.
And another thing, Wilson is back.
Nah.
No.
So who will score the goals? Okay, the wingers.
Gordon.
Right. What
I
Jenny
go with
Boy
the
is
draw. I
thinking?
go with the
Jude
draw.
Home
1-1.
goal, home goal.
1-1.
1-1. And then Jude, you're going with
2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. I'll start with
Wait, Chelsea.
Dixon.
What did Chelsea say against Newcastle?
2-2.
Say
You said
1-1.
1-1,
Who's
sorry.
home?
Everton.
Chelsea
Chelsea,
at home.
Nottingham. Chelsea has been scoring goals
Yes.
lately. Nottingham too are defensive. That what is his name? Nuno. It's a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I'll go 2-0
Chelsea 2.
Chelsea. 2-0 Chelsea.
Chelsea 2-2. I'll 2.
Same for me.
Hmm.
If Chelsea's at home, 2
Yeah,
0.
Chelsea is on.
But if they're not at
Yeah.
home,
Sean, are you joining the bandwagon?
No, I'm not. 2-1 Nottingham Forest.
See why I say play with his heart. My guy doesn't like Chelsea.
2-1 Nottingham Forest. I'm going 2-2. I'm going with 2-2 draw. I'm staying safe this game. And then last one for today is Tottenham
Ah!
Brighton.
That's it.
Tottenham
All
ah,
attack,
Brighton.
Highline,
everybody. Just be attacking.
highline versus highline.
I'm going to start with this one. 2-1 Brighton.
Who's home?
Tottenham at home.
Tottenham win. Tottenham
Is
2-1.
Son back? Is what I don't know.
No, Brighton. No, Brighton is at home. No, Brighton is
Is
at
it
home.
Brighton at home?
I don't know if
Brighton
Son
is
is
at
Okay,
home.
back.
that changes it then.
Yeah,
I
Brighton
don't
at
know
home.
if
Okay, Brighton at home. I'm changing. I'm swapping it to Tottenham. I don't want to predict them to win. I don't want to 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. But it's going to be 2-1 Tottenham.
I don't know if Son's
Son
injured.
is injured. He didn't.
It's,
You know, he wasn't even on the bench against United.
Yeah, I know, but
mm.
I thought it was just a precaution. That's why, because he had a knock against those the
Sharon
guys they
said
play.
2-1 Tottenham, right?
I haven't said anything yet.
Oh,
I think something
Judas predicted
is.
2-2.
People are talking.
okay.
Let me check.
Yeah, I half expect the momentum to be a lot coming from the game against us. But then again, they a more organized team will score goals against Tottenham
Yeah.
against this
Coach
Tottenham.
Brighton seems
So
to be Abi.
I can see it actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which there seems to be. Yeah. So I can see them scoring a few goals in that game. But I think Tottenham might just have just too much ginger, just following coming off of the last game. So I'll say 3-2. 3-2 Tottenham.
Yeah, based on what you said, I'm changing my score to 2-1 Brighton.
Uh-uh.
2-1 Brighton. Yeah, Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck is angry. Danny Welbeck will do
Welbeck didn't play
something.
last game against Chelsea,
Um,
the 4-2. I
oh
don't know. Was
my,
he
he's
injured?
wishing for Arsenal to just ride through.
Adingra. I like Adingra. I just didn't like him in the Nations Cup. But I think Adingra is a good player.
I don't know if
But
But
yeah,
it
Welbeck.
doesn't
I don't know
start.
if Welbeck is injured.
Right,
that's
Brighton Tottenham. I go with like, Jesus, that's a tough one.
Looks like a high scoring game.
They're supposed to beat
Yeah,
Tottenham.
it's true. Looks like a high scoring game.
Two teams cannot defend to save their
I'm
lives.
I'm riding towards Brighton because they're home. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what? I go with draw 2-2. High scoring game 2-2.
and then Dixon
3-2 Brighton.
3-2
Let's see, who did you pick?
Brighton
2-2.
Oh,
2-2.
you went to
So let me just
Give
run through. So
Ten
you
Hag
know that
goal
I'm doing.
so that I can catch
So you
up.
know that I'm doing INEC. So Crystal Palace Liverpool. I said 1-0 Palace. Sean said 1-0 Palace. Johnny Boy says 2-1 Liverpool. Jude 3-1 Liverpool. Dixon 2-0 Liverpool.
Please,
For Arsenal Southampton, I said you're not changing now. It's too late.
no,
Arsenal
keep it.
Southampton. I said 2-0 Arsenal. Sean said 3-0 Arsenal. Johnny Boy 3-0 Arsenal. Jude 4-0 Arsenal, and Dixon 4-1 Arsenal. For Man City Fulham, Dixon went with a 2-2. Jude went to 2-1 City. Johnny Boy 3-1 City. Sean 2-1 City. And I went with a 4-0 Manchester City. Everton Newcastle, I went with 3-2 Newcastle. Sean, Johnny Boy, and Dixon went with 1-1. And Jude went with a 2-1 to Newcastle. Manchester United versus Villa. Sean went with 2-1 United. Dixon, Jude, and Johnny Boy went with 2-1 Villa. Oh no, Dixon said 2-0 Villa.
ah.
Jude and Johnny Boy went 2-1 Villa. I said 2-2 draw. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. I said 2-2 draw. Sean said 2-1 Nottingham Forest. And Johnny Boy, Jude, and Dixon went with 2-0 Chelsea. And the final game, Brighton Tottenham, I went with 2-1 Brighton. Sean and Dixon went with 3. Oh, no, Sean said 3-2 Tottenham. Dixon said 3-2 Brighton. And Johnny Boy and Jude said 2-2.
I thought she
So
would
those are
said
the
one new Nottingham Forest Chelsea. You think 1-0, 2-0?
No. He said
Well,
Nottingham
he
won.
said 2-1. 2-1
He said
Nottingham.
he can't say
Ah,
he can't predict Chelsea win.
I know.
Right.
Abi?
No,
It's,
was it
You
Chelsea
see, he
second
can't.
you
predict
can't
me?
use your heart.
It was Liverpool. I
You
said that
can't.
camp.
You are using your heart again. You're not using your head. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's
Later
okay.
you
You're not
start
changing the
start
score.
crying that
It's too
you're
late.
last on the table. I'm saying because if you cry now next week that you're last on the table again.
Well, guys, so this has been Run of Play podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your own comments about Ten Hag being at the wheel. If he should be sacked, who should replace him? If Arsenal are a better team than Manchester United. I'm joking. But yeah, please like the video, subscribe. On to the next episode. Stay safe, stay curious, and see you soon. Cheers, guys.